What's going on, everyone? It's Marcellus back with another video. We got to talk about Quant today because there's a lot going on with Quant, and it looks like it could be the next 100x altcoin gem. So definitely hit that like button and subscribe. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Leave a comment in the comment section, and let's get straight to it. So first of all, here are the charts for Quant. We're going to talk about the technical analysis, but let's kind of go over why Quant is going crazy right now and really what it is. So over here, you can see the Quant network interoperability solved, reduces costs and accesses wider markets by deploying any app on any blockchain. That's the power of our single standard multi-chain API. So essentially, they're connecting all blockchains. And there's also another thing here with Quant. They're saying the whole central banking system, they're trying to go digital, and they're saying that Quant could be what brings everything together. So it's definitely an interesting outlook here. Developers unleash developer on over ledger without specialist blockchain knowledge, which is that's definitely pretty good. Built for enterprises, this is a big thing. They're really trying to build it for banks because banks are really trying to go digital. So built for enterprises, led by an experienced team from large corporate, financial, and regulatory institutions, we enable existing financial infrastructure to operate with new decentralized networks. So they're saying over here, designed for the future with our blockchain agnostic approach. Your existing infrastructure investments are protected and the door is open to future cross-platform applications. That's definitely going to look good. But let's go over this article as well. And as you can see here, 6.7% up in the last 24 hours here for Quant. That's pretty good. And then over the last 30 days, 84%. Quant is doing pretty good and definitely above a lot of other cryptos. But as you can see here, the all-time high for Quant was all the way up at $427 back in 2021, late 2021. So that's definitely pretty cool to see that it's about to go and rise all the way up there. Now, when we're going and talking of terms of 100x, you also got to look at the market cap and fully diluted market cap. So if you think about it, 100x from 2.89 billion, well, you kind of get the drift. It would be very, very, very high. So really what we're looking at here for Quant, maybe a 10x. This is what we're looking for right now. But, for the far future, you could probably see some big 100x, talking 10 years and stuff like that. But if you're just looking for like next year or 2 years or 3 years, you want to look more so at the 10x range. But let's kind of keep going over this and see exactly what other people are thinking about Quant. So over here, it says Quant was trading at half its price exactly 1 month ago. And yeah, Quant just now broke $200, is now at 206. And as you can see over here, $206 right now. So they said apparently Quant is currently carried by an extremely large hype, which is reflected in the relative strength index. So that's what they're talking about now. And they're saying over here, this is also a big thing to look at. Thus, according to trading theory, a cool down in the form of a retest of the last high at 133 for Quant is possible. So they're saying it's quite possible that Quant pulls back to 135, just for a retest of the support and a reset, they're saying. And if we are going to, confirm what they're saying, if we look down here, these indicators are pretty much different supply and demand areas. The green area is supply and demand of more demand. If you see a red area like all the way up here, that is supply and demand of less demand when you see these red areas. So what we want to look for now is our green areas and show where we have the most demand for Quant. Well, first of all, we have some supply and demand of more demand down here. So we have some support at about $153. And that's where our first support is meeting us around here, 154, 153. And then again, you see, what they mentioned around 130, which is this whole area right here, about 130, all the way down to about 120. There is more demand for Quant. So they're not necessarily wrong. The activity starts to slow down when you get below 150, but they're not necessarily wrong. So I think 130, maybe around 130, or maybe just so more so around here, around the 150 area. Now, if you do look at where Quant just came from, you got to think about it. Just on the 13th was like 5 days ago, we had all the way back here at 153. And then if you think also for Quant, the level that they're talking about, we haven't been at that level since the 3rd of October. But still, from the 3rd of October till now, that's a huge rise in price, $70 increase. So we got to look at it like, yes, it's always possible for a pullback. But let's keep going over this. So they're talking about the reasons for the skyrocketing price of Quant. Now, one of the drivers for the hype seems to be the news of the last week. In particular, the global trend and call for central bank digital currencies has garnered Quant extremely positive headlines. So, Quant CEO Gilbert Verdian is extremely well connected, as a Persuadamus Quant community member recently revealed. Thus, Verdian took a seat at the European Central Bank. That is big right there. He took a seat at the European Central Bank alongside the Central Bank of Italy, the Central Bank of Lithuania and the London Stock Exchange. So that's actually pretty big. He's sitting next to some big ballers inside of Europe. So this could be really big for Quant. So yeah, he's really secured and connected with all these different agencies and all these different banks. So this is definitely something that a lot of people are getting hyped about. And rightfully so. That's really big. That's something that a lot of cryptos can't do. A lot of projects aren't sitting next to the literal people, the presidents of these banks, the people who are really running these banks. I was going to say CEOs, but banks are they operate a little bit differently, but still, this is huge. So look over here. Another driver of success for the Quant network, founded in 2015, could be the demand for interoperability. And that's what I was talking about on their website. So it says to enable interaction between different public and private blockchains at the same time. So for this reason, MIT is also working with the Quant network to create blockchain interoperability at the scale of the internet. So speculation that the Quant network with its interoperability feature would play a central role in the development of central bank digital currencies may have contributed to the rally in recent weeks and triggered FOMO among the traders. And as you all know, FOMO is the fear of missing out. And that's what people are getting in on right now. People are really having the fear of missing out right now. So they're really looking at this and they just have a huge fear of missing out. They don't want to miss out on any of these opportunities. So it's causing a lot of people to just, FOMO in. They're just jumping in without any knowledge of what's going on with Quant. So I think that this is going to, I don't know exactly when it's going to stop, but if we're going to look at the technicals and see where it could quite possibly stop, well, for one, we have high activity inside the current area where we're at right now. That's why it says high activity expected right here. This is for institutional interest, dark pools, large whales, yada, yada, yada. All the way around here, we have high activity. Now, if you also look over here on the oscillator, you're seeing that this is a huge buying wave. And if you look right here, the selling started to slow down, but these were two oversold areas, which led to this major purchasing area that we just now got here from 190 all the way back up. But it kind of is slowing down a little bit. We already hit the resistance that we have up here at the 226 level. We already hit that $226 resistance once, right? And then we almost got all the way up here again, and then it just went completely down immediately. So right now, it's kind of looking like Quant is struggling to hold this price. So I think they're right. We're probably about to retest some supports from here, and then it's going to keep going from there. I don't think that the Quant rally is done completely, but I do think some supports could be retested soon. So that's something that you definitely want to watch out for. You want to watch for the pullbacks. It definitely looks like it's about to pull back. We've had a lot of buying here, but yeah, I definitely think some more pullbacks could be coming in the near future for Quant. Now, since moreover, Quant Network has recently made headlines for its work with the Bank of England on the digital pound. And just last weekend, executives attended Swift's SIBO's conference, which focused on digital payments. So in addition to Verdian, Quant also employs another very renowned personality, Guy Dietrich, former managing director of Rockefeller Capital, has already joined the Quant network as a board member in 2019. That's huge. And then they're saying Dietrich was a managing director at Rockefeller Capital Management inside New York in 2021. So that's actually really big. And he said before this guy joined Rockefeller, he led Morgan Stanley Smith Barney's largest private wealth management practice in Silicon Valley. So I think there's a lot of big players behind Quant right now, and there's a lot of people that want Quant to succeed. But you could still see that pullback. That nothing is exempt from a pullback. It's definitely looking like Quant had a little bit of a pullback here. Went all the way from 226 all the way down to 190 within hours. So I think that there's a lot of volatility inside of Quant right now. So you definitely want to be careful. You don't want to just hop all in with all your money, because if you think about it, the best time to buy Quant was actually the 14th of June, which was only $48 in the 14th of June. And now it is the 17th of October, and we are now at $207. So yeah, a lot of people did miss that opportunity that they wanted, but it's still a good time to get in on Quant. It's still, I guess pretty low from where it was at the all-time high, $427 from the all-time high. So yeah, I think there's still some possibilities that this could continue to rise. But like I said, I'm expecting a pullback here, But remember, this is short term. So if we're going to look at the 4 hour chart, we got to look at what's going to happen for quant in the long term. And what we're actually seeing here for quant in the long term, we're seeing that we came off of a major overbought area. This whole area is overbought. Like, I know it looks like a big circle, and that's because it is all the way from early September till now. Even from way back here, like quant is way overbought right now. I'll be completely honest. You can even see on the oscillator all these overbought signals, but it doesn't mean that it's a bad crypto. Quant has so much potential to moon, but right now it's not too late, but you're jumping in late. You're not jumping in too late, but you're jumping in late. So yeah, it just had to rise, but right now is that time that where you wait for it to come back to that sensible buying range, which is pretty much down here. And we're looking at this and it's saying high activity is expected back down here. If quant gets back down to this $160 range, that's going to end up being high activity. Even if it pulls down to the lower side around $109, all this area, this is a green area, which means supply and demand, more demand. It's showing that we have more demand in all these areas. So we should be pulling back here in quant, but we have so much demand in these areas that we will probably see an immediate rise, kind of like how we seen back here. Quant pumped all the way up here on to it was pretty much on August 8th to 130, and then it pulled back. And that's why the news article was actually talking about 130 as a resistance, because that's where our last major resistance was. We hit it on August 8th, pulled back, didn't pump again until the 7th of September. And then boom, hit the $90 range 7th of September, and then we just start to pump again. So I think quant is probably going to, replay this again, going back all the way down to 130, and then, trading sideways maybe for like a week or two, and then just pumping again. That's kind of what it looks like it's about to do. But yeah, let me know what you all think about this in the comments. I definitely think that this is a good crypto, and I'll definitely be getting in on it myself. Me personally, I don't have any quant right now, but I'm definitely thinking about getting it. But yeah, definitely go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. And as always, I'll be back with another video.